Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's part 2 of our Turn Your Photo into a Painting graphic design digital art tutorial. There were some recording difficulties of my screen, so I have some screenshots mixed in here as well as my screen recording. As always, if you like the videos I'm dropping, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop new content. Also, make sure you watch to the end of the video for a really special announcement. So let's jump right in. So the first thing that you want to do in Photoshop is have your photo open. So right here we have a photo of a sunrise that I took in Long Beach Island in New Jersey. And what we're going to do is we are actually going to use the filters in Photoshop to make this into a painting. So the first thing that you want to do once you have everything set is you want to convert the image layer into a smart object. And to do that, you right click on the layer, and on the drop down you're going to select convert to smart object. Once it's converted, it'll kind of blink in your layers panel, and then what you can do is you can go up to your toolbar and you're going to select filter, and from filters you're going to select filter gallery. This is where you are going to be able to look at all of the different filters, and we have different ones for artistic. There are brush strokes, sketching, stylizing. You want to add texture. The other thing that's great with the filter gallery is it has this window where you can actually see the changes in real time as you make them. Now, to make these changes, we have the sliders on the right side of the screen. The filter that I'm using is the dry brush filter. So here you can change the brush size, the brush detail, and the texture. Now the texture is going to change how things look. This is one of the times when I wish my screen recording had worked properly so you could see it change in real time. But once you click OK with how you like it, it's going to update your photo. Now the reason we changed this to a smart object and are using smart filters is because this is a way that you can non-destructively change the photo. Now, a non-destructive change basically means that you make changes to the photo, but you can always go back and remove those changes and go back to the original image and you haven't destroyed it. Now, if you're happy with how the photo looks after just using the filter gallery, you can go ahead and save this for printing or whatever you plan to do with it. However, you can always use the adjustments tab to make further changes. If you don't have it, you can always go up to the window drop down in your toolbar. But with these adjustments, you can change things like brightness and contrast, the vibrance. You can have a color lookup or a channel mixer. You can make it black and white. You can mess with the hue and saturation. All these different things are different pieces that you can change. And again, it creates a separate layer so you aren't being destructive to the photo. So we're actually going to look at the saturation because I love the reds in this, but I want to bump them up a bit more. So in the properties panel, once you select hue and saturation, you're going to have all these different parts that you can change: the hue, the saturation, and the lightness. On the saturation, you can change it either by clicking and dragging the toolbar or the saturation bar, or you can type the number in. So I like dragging the little angle along the saturation bar because it gives me a chance to see exactly how far I want to go. So I like plus 65 on the saturation because it really punches up the red, but it doesn't overdo it. You can always change the lightness and the darkness if you want to. For this, I don't necessarily want to change the lightness and darkness of the photo, but if you see here by dragging to make it darker or lighter, it does add more depth, but that's not really what we're looking for. And I'm gonna go back to that plus 65 on the saturation. I'm happy with how this photo looks now at this point. So what I'm going to do is I go up to File and Export, and I do Save for Web, or if you're using computer keyboard shortcuts, it's Alt-Control-Shift-S, and that's going to bring up this window that is Save for Web, and you can save it as a GIF, a JPEG, or a PNG. If you're going to be printing with a photo printer, I generally go with JPEG. If you're doing more digital, or you're doing something that requires a bit more layers and a bit more ability to manipulate the exported image, I suggest using PNG. I told you guys at the beginning of the video I had a big announcement to make. So the big announcement is that I now have a Twitch channel for our YouTube channel here, The Unboxing Artist. I am in the process of upgrading my equipment, so I'm going to be playing around with Twitch offline, but I'm very excited, hopefully later this year, maybe in the summertime, that I'm actually going to start doing Twitch live streams for these tutorials. So instead of just watching while I mess around with Photoshop or any other programs that I use, you will actually be able to watch live with me. We can interact with each other, and then that recording of that live stream will come up here onto our YouTube channel. As always, guys, thank you so much for sticking around with me for this video. I have so many more tutorial videos I'm working on for you, and I cannot wait to continue on this journey with you guys. I will see you all next time.